Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Garden State Growing. Once again, my name is Eric, and today I've got an exciting video for you. I'm actually going to be putting plants into the ground for the first time 2021 growing season. What am I going to be planting? I'm going to be planting potatoes. Now, if you can see right here behind me, this was my corn plot from last year, and over there was my potato plot. But I wanted to switch that around a little bit because of lighting issues, wind issues, climate issues. I'd rather have the smaller potato plants over here and the larger corn plants over where the potatoes were grown last year. Now, it is a little bit early, not for planting potatoes, but for planting in general. I have a lot of plants planted in my grow tent downstairs, but I didn't bring them outside to harden off yet or try to put them in the ground. A lot of my neighbors and my friends lost a lot of plants because they planted them too early like I did last year. I tried to warn them, but they didn't want to listen, and so they lost a lot of their plants, and now they're asking me for extras, and I told them, I don't have extras right now. I'll have extras after I plant them in the garden and I see what I have and I don't have. So they're just gonna have to wait on that. So I have obviously a lot of work to do ahead of me, and I am gonna bring you along for that. I'm gonna skip all the boring labor work, but then I'll bring you back in and I'll show you what I did to plant my potatoes. So I chitted all my potatoes in the last video that I shot, and if you want to see what they look like, basically what I did was, let me grab a good one. Basically what I did was, I left these in my basement for about a week to mature, a week or two to mature, and grow their eyes a little bit bigger than they were when they were sent to me. Then I went and I cut them in certain ways that I had at least 2 eyes per potato. And that's the process called chitting. If you want to know more about it, go check out that video. I just put that out last week. You're more than welcome to. So right now I'm going to get these into the ground. I'm going to show you where, why, and how. So I cleared out this area, and I know it looks a little dry, but it really isn't. I mean, it is dry, but the soil condition doesn't look great. But as you can see, I could clump it by giving it a good squeeze, and then it easily breaks apart. That is absolutely perfect what I'm looking for, but I am going to amend this a little bit in a certain way. So what I have here is I have a furrow or a trench dug down the length of this bed here, and I'm going to start planting my Russian fingerling potatoes. Now to do that, I'm always starting in the middle of the bed because that's where my camera's focused. And I want the eyes growing up. Good enough for me. So now I'm going to plant these every 6 to 8 inches in this row, okay? But the next plant, the next row of potatoes I'm going to put in this is going to be at least 12 inches away. Now there is 2 different ways to plant your potatoes. Well, actually, there's a lot of different ways to plant your potatoes. The 2 ways that I use are the trench method or the furrow method, and then the hill method. What I'm going to do this year is I'm going to do a combination of both. Last year, I dug like a 12-inch furrow, and I put my potatoes in, and I just kind of let them grow. What I'm going to do this year is I'm going to put them in like a 6-inch furrow. I'm going to bury them, and then as they grow, I'm going to hill them up. I'm going to take more soil, and I'm going to constantly keep on burying them. Now remember, potatoes are part of the nightshade family, so they are just like tomatoes. And all along their stem, if it gets in contact with moisture and soil, it will produce more roots. Now with potatoes, you produce more roots, you produce more potatoes. So now that I've got my first round of Russian fingerlings in the ground in a row, these are, can you see that? Russian fingerling potatoes. I still have a whole nother bag, so I need to dig a whole nother row for these. But for right now, I'm going to show you how I take care of this row. All right, do you remember when I went down to my friend's farm and I got to pick up some horse manure? Now I'm going to take this horse manure that I got. It's quite dry right now, so I'm going to definitely water this in. But I'm going to take it and I'm going to just sprinkle it on top, or actually just dump it on top. Try to reserve as much as I can because I only have 6 buckets of this, 30 gallons, and I want to save some of it for my tomato beds. So I'm going to add this on top of the potatoes that we have right now, and then I may bring in a little bit more soil to just make some room for another row. So this row is put in the ground right now. As you saw, I put a little bit of horse manure on top. Let me tell you a little bit something about horse manure. Make sure it's matured. Make sure it's been left out for a very long time, 3-4 months at least. You do not want to put fresh manure on your garden. It will burn your plants, it'll kill your plants. It is not good for your garden. Make sure it has been matured. Everyone, so we are here. It's a new day because where I left off the last time, that day was so incredibly windy. It actually knocked my camera over, my expensive camera, and the tripod, even though it was weighted down, and I dove right through my garden fence right there trying to save my camera, and the only thing I did was mess myself up, and I had enough. So we are back out here right now, and I've got 3 rows going on. In these first 2 rows here, there's 4 rows going on right now, but in these first 2 rows, that is the fingerling banana Russian potato in the middle there. That is another row of Russian. And then over here we have the Yukon Gold. And then you can't really kind of see it because I didn't throw a straw down on the other side. But we have a row of the blush that I never grew before. And I want to apologize for such a horrible video. I actually planned on doing 2 videos that day. Both of them got ruined by the wind. It actually broke plants. I was trying to up pot. As I was trying to up pot them, it was terrible. The wind would come and it would just break them, and I got really upset, and I threw down the phone. I did what I had to do and got out of there. If you want to see that video, I will put that link in the description below, even though I think this video is coming out before that. So you just might have to subscribe so you can see that Rosella video that I did with that windy day. So that is it for my potatoes. I did leave some room up here close to the trampoline because I have got sweet potatoes and yams sprouting in my kitchen right now, and when they're ready to go into the ground, that's maybe where they're gonna go. I don't know. I got so many options right now. I got fabric pots and you name it. I have a greenhouse on my front porch I need to put up. I don't have any help. Sorry about that. So because this was a crappy video, I'm gonna give you a little treat. Here's me and my dog Chance having a good time playing in the kitchen. And I love you. I will see you on the next episode. Please like it, subscribe, ring that bell, ding, 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 whatever, man. Just do it. It's cool. Listen to my favorite song.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting strong.
I already called not helping.
Call not helping?
No. I call ignoring you.
I've been